This is the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show. Heard every Saturday and Sunday from noon to 1 p.m. right here on AM800.
Thank you for doing a good job as always.
Now back to the show with broker owner and host, Dan Gemus.
Okay, we are back here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show. Heather Marintet in studio with me today. Time for our segment with Chris Gibb from Gibb Insurance Brokers. Hey, Chris, how are you today?
I am absolutely fabulous. How are you and Heather doing?
Well, we are fantastic.
Great.
Now tell us, Chris, before we get too far, what is one home upgrade you wish you had done sooner?
Oh, Dan, you already know what I'm going to say. You already know that back when you and the Dan Gemus team were in the home renovation business, we had a bathroom renovated and put in one of those overhead rain shower heads. And to this day, I just love it's like standing under a waterfall in the shower.
So luxurious.
I can just picture Chris now with his fingers in his locks as he's in the rain shower. Oh.
Standing in the shower, thinking of you and Nikki. It's fabulous.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. You know, ironically, we have a rain shower thing in our thing. We don't use it.
Oh, really?
No, we don't.
I do. I love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it, Heather? It's just, it's like standing under a waterfall in Tahiti. It's just
It's
fabulous.
true. It's true. However, there are times when I feel like I am being drowned by it.
Yes.
But for the most part, it's good.
Don't look up. You will waterboard yourself.
Yeah, from time to time if you're not paying attention.
Oh, my gosh. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so listen, today we're talking about why every driver in your home needs to be named on your auto insurance policy. Interesting.
Yes. You know, this is something we come across every once in a while, and I thought your listeners might find it interesting. So it's very important for your auto insurance that your auto insurance company knows who the drivers are in your household and who are the regular operators of your vehicle.
Okay.
So what and what they're trying to do is just make sure you have the right coverage in place for the people who may be driving your vehicle. So, you know, it may be a situation where you've got an adult child who moved back into the home, and you think, oh, they might have access to my car. You should inform your insurance broker just so that they can make sure you stay on the right side of the insurance rules.
Okay, now, Chris, I want to jump ahead. I have a random question for you. So if Uncle Bob comes over tomorrow and Uncle Bob wants to just test drive my car, he's obviously not on the policy. Uncle Bob takes the car around the block and gets in an accident. What happens in that case?
Okay, so in that situation, according to the Insurance Act, as long as Uncle Bob has a valid license and your permission, Uncle Bob is considered an insured driver on your vehicle. Where you get into sticky situations is, you know, Uncle Bob comes over because Aunt Beatrice kicked him out, and he's living at your house for 3-4 weeks. Then you start getting into the situation that if Uncle Bob's using the vehicle, he has regular access to it, he may need to be listed on the policy. So it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's one of those things you should think about, that all the regular operators or the people in your household that have access to your vehicle are properly noted on your policy.
Now, in this case with Uncle Bob, he gets in an accident. I'm assuming it would be my auto insurance policy that would take care of the damages, or would it go after Uncle Bob's policy if he has his own auto insurance policy?
No, everything, the liability for the accident, the damage to your vehicle, damage to, you know, if you hit a telephone pole, damage to the pole, that all follows the owner of the vehicle. That's
okay.
And then Uncle Bob's personal policy would pay for any of his personal injuries if he got hurt in the accident.
Okay. Now, what if Uncle Bob does not have his own policy? It would be my insurance that would take care of that?
Yes. If Uncle Bob doesn't have his own policy, it'd be your insurance that takes care of it. And that's where it starts to get very complicated is, well, you know, should Uncle Bob have been listed on your policy, and what are the details of the situation that will start to get complicated. So I always tell everybody it's better to ask the question and be told, no, you're fine, then after an accident find out that you inadvertently violated some kind of part of your policy.
Interesting. Okay.
It's just, another situation we see this a lot is with older people who they still own a vehicle and they may still have a license, but one of their adult children will come over and drive them around in their own vehicle. That's a situation that you probably should have a discussion with your insurance broker and to just make sure that you have everything documented properly so that there's no problems at claim time.
So surely there is implications for our insurance policies if we neglect to, as you mentioned, do this, right? So what would some of those implications possibly be?
Well, they can range from not too serious to very serious. I mean, if it was an accident, if it was an honest mistake, it may not be that severe. But if it's a situation where, the insurance company suspects you may be hiding something, where one of the drivers in your home might have a poor driving record and you're intentionally keeping that from the insurance company, or, one of the drivers is 17 years old and you don't want to pay the extra premium, then you could be looking at a claim denial. You could be looking at getting your policy canceled for non-disclosure. So it can be a very, very serious issue.
Yeah, we don't want that for sure. I could see people doing that where they just don't want to pay that extra, policy.
Exactly. I totally understand it. You let's say you've got a young driver in the home that maybe had a bad run of luck and's got 2 or 3 tickets, and you don't want to pay the extra premium. Well, if they use your vehicle and they get into an accident, you could be risking literally your financial future, because the insurance company may say, no, you violated the policy. You ought to have told us that Uncle Bob with 3 tickets was living with you and driving your vehicle.
Poor Uncle Bob. He's having a hard day.
I know.
Oh, yeah, poor Uncle Bob. Oh, and one other thing that we see all the time that I want to mention, and it's not as big of a deal, but when your young driver gets their G1, we used to call it the beginner's license, have them added to your policy right away. There's no extra cost when they have their beginner's license, their G1 license. There's no extra cost, but by adding them on your policy, they start earning insurance credits right away. A lot of people don't think to add them until they get their G2, and then they haven't, they've missed out on that insurance experience for a year or 8 months.
So you mentioned insurance credits. Tell us more about that.
Well, the longer you have continuous insurance, the better rate you're going to have.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So, the young driver that gets their beginners and doesn't get added to the policy until a year later, well, they've missed out on that year of credit that could be applied. So it's just, like I say, just any time that there's someone who lives with you or has regular access to your vehicle, have that discussion with your insurance broker just to make sure you're not mistakenly making an error that could cost you seriously if something happened.
Okay, interesting. Wow, that's quite the fascinating topic there, Chris. Anything else to add?
No, not too much. I mean, other than if you have questions about your insurance, you can always reach out to myself and the team and at Gibb Insurance, and we can walk you through it.
I love it. Now, before I let you go, Chris, there was a very interesting meeting, obviously, for those listening. Chris is Deputy Mayor for the town of Amherstburg. Interesting meeting this past week at Town Hall. It was what do they call it? The open meeting for the General
statutory public meeting, yes.
Yes, for the high school property with Valente Developments. Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, there's, as most people will know, Valente Development bought the old General Amherst High School right in the middle of town, and they are looking to redevelop that into a commercial, residential, perhaps hotel accommodations, a huge redevelopment of the property. So we had the first public statutory meeting that people could come and ask questions and get some information. So, we're working with Valente Developments they want to bring a premier project to downtown Amherstburg. So it's very exciting.
Interesting. I think it's. I've seen the drawings. They look amazing. I know there are likely some neighbors that aren't excited about the project in their backyards, but as a whole, I think it's a very exciting project for the town.
It really is an exciting project, and I have to give Valente some credit. They did see that. Certain parts of the property, there's residential homes right there, and the way they designed the project was to keep the tall building out of people's backyards. So that's a nice feature. Keeping the historic look of the building is another nice feature. And then the way they're designing it, that as it goes up, it becomes lighter. It's not, it's not going to be so overpowering in a downtown district.
Fantastic. Well, excited to see where that goes. And
very exciting. I want to say off the top of my head, it's almost 200 residential units, condos and rentals. So, downtown living, walkability to everything. It's really a transformative project for the town.
Good stuff. Well, we'll see where that goes. Chris, thank you for the information there. And if anyone has any questions with regards to anything insurance related, what's the best way to reach out to your team?
The best way, you can email me directly, chris@gibbinsurance.ca, or call the office, 519-736-8228, or visit our website, gibbinsurance.ca. You can get a quote online. You can put your information in, and we'll get back to you with some rates. And, if Uncle Bob needs anything, you tell him he can call me too.
Oh, Bob, thank you so much.
Don't give him the keys.
Yeah, don't give him the keys. Do not give Bob the keys. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it as always.
All right, you guys, you know what? I may just go jump in the shower now that you talked to me about that. So you guys have a great day.
Great idea, Chris.
Go enjoy.
Go enjoy. Thanks again. That's Chris Gibb with Gibb Insurance Brokers. Always some great tips there. And, Deputy Mayor for the town of Amherstburg. Does a great job out in Amherstburg as well. So we'll take a break. We're going to come back with some more questions, some more fun answers to our fun question today. What is one home upgrade you wish you had done sooner? You can text in 519-792-2559. Back right after this, right here on the Dan Gemus Real Estate Show.